want to start by acknowledging what part of the HSE selling conversation is currently most challenging for you. Issues such as clarity about what one is offering and or selling, clarity about how to support a prospect in going through the process, clarity about how to adjust or adapt the process to speak to either uniqueness regarding your own business and offers or various situations that you might find yourself in when it comes to selling. And then also clarity about how to support a prospect who faces resistance or gets lost in the process somehow. Also, issues of confidence and a sense of worthiness about what is being offered and how it's being offered. And then issues regarding ability to really speak to the money aspect of selling. Selling for us as HSPs is an inner and an outer process. It's meant to be an inner and outer process, meaning we don't want to ignore that it's an inner or outer process, or even more so to try to convince ourselves that it shouldn't be an inner and outer process. So with that in mind, I'm going to invite you to place hand on heart, and with hand on heart, allow the first word to drop into your mind when I ask you this question, with no right, no wrong, no judgment, full honest acceptance. One word: how do you feel about selling? And write that word down when you receive it. Take a breath in and let it out. Again, hand on heart. I'm going to ask a question. Go with the first word that drops in response to the question and write it down. The question being, what is the opposite of the word you wrote down? And when it comes to you, write it down. Let's take a breath in and let it out. Now, if your original word was supportive, you're just going to stay with that original word. If it was not supportive, then we're going to share the opposite of that word. So if the word that came to you initially felt unsupportive, the intention is that the opposite feels supportive. Breath in and let it out. Again, hand to heart. I'm going to dictate for you an auto writing question. The question is, what do I need in order to be able to effectively flip this switch? What do I need in order to effectively flip this switch? From word 1 to word 2. Allow your heart to answer that question. What is absolutely clearly needed is some version of a core practice that is done consistently on a day-to-day basis for at least 5 out of 7, where you're giving attention to flipping that switch. It's like walking into a gym, be like, that's nice. And walking back out, being like, why isn't my body changing shape? I don't get it. The daily practice and the commitment to that consistency can't not have a positive effect, especially when you don't feel like doing it. Now, why is this internal daily core practice of flipping the switch about how you feel about selling? Why is this so important? So first and foremost, it's important as a daily core practice because it's literally going to shift your cellular makeup regarding your own self-value, self-esteem, and self-worth. Even if you never had a selling conversation ever again, by engaging in this particular flip of the switch daily core practice that you just identified for yourself, it will positively impact self-value, self-esteem, and self-worth. As a result, your life will be different. You'll feel better. You'll have more energy. Most likely you'll sleep better. Most likely you'll make different food choices. Most likely you'll have different types of interactions in your relationships, personal and professional. And your nervous system will be more calm. So the challenges that we face as HSPs, things like not being able to find the right words, such as being able to think clearly, make decisions quickly, or have access to our intuition in intense situations and moments. All of that will improve. So just from that perspective, the willingness to commit to this daily core practice, specifically around this flip of the switch and what that looks like for you, can only have a positive impact for you. It doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be done. You don't need to love it. It just needs to be done. And you want to stay with it. So taking a moment for yourself right now and really clarifying, hand on heart, if that is supportive, really clarifying, what is this daily core practice for me? When am I going to do it? And what's the amount of time I'm willing to dedicate towards it? So what is this daily core practice? When am I going to do it? And what is the amount of time I'm willing to dedicate towards it? There is no right, there is no wrong, and there is no judgment. It is completely personal for you. Let's take a breath in and let it out. Is what you just mapped out for yourself up for adaptation as you begin to engage with the core practice? Yes, absolutely. Maybe you set out for yourself, I'm going to do this first thing in the morning, and then you start to discover that's actually really not the best time for me. Making adaptations to the what, the when, and for how long is absolutely up for negotiation. What's not up for negotiation is not doing it. Now, this core practice is also very important because in the way that it will impact just how you feel and how you be as a person on a day-to-day basis, it's absolutely also going to impact how you show up for selling conversations. Particularly, it is going to put you in the driver's seat. A selling conversation for us as HSPs is stepping into our royal advisor role. I often get the question, how can I be both a royal advisor and a regal queen? And I'm going to say that you can be a regal royal advisor. So you embody that sense of heart coherence as a regal queen while acting as royal advisor. Being a royal advisor is being willing to lead. That's the driver's seat. So you must engage in that daily core practice to support yourself in having the strength of HSP leadership. Now, so many of the concerns that you shared is because you're in the back seat. You're coming from that HSP shadow perspective of I'll respond to what I'm given. Because I have the ability to feel and intuit what's going on with another person, I'll work off of their energy. And that's what's creating a lot of that lack of confidence, a lot of that confusion, and a lot of even that sense of feeling drained. Versus when you're in the leadership position, when you're in the driver's seat, the royal advisor knows what is of support to the person they are advising. not understands from the IU process, but knows deep in your heart, deep in your gut, deep in your soul. That knowing then also supports you with being able to address resistance. Whether that resistance is relationship resistance, or time resistance, or timing resistance, or money resistance, or this won't work for me resistance. When you're in the driver's seat and the resistance comes up, it's like, oh, okay, we're going down that road. Let's do that. Versus slamming the brakes on from the back seat, trying to get the car in reverse and backing out because you are absorbing the discomfort from the other person. When you're in the leadership role, when you're in the driver's seat, it's not a surprise when the resistance comes up. It's not as if it's a road barrier. It's just, oh, okay, we're going to go down this road now. As your royal advisor, I'm willing to do that with you. Your daily core practice that you just identified is what will strengthen you to be able to be in that leadership position, to be able to be in that royal advisor role from an energy of regality. Without it, without that daily core practice, it doesn't matter what practical aspects of the process we go into and we look at. It doesn't matter how many times or how many ways I give you how to go about the practicalities. Without this inner peace, both P-I-E-C-E and P-E-A-C-E, without this inner peace, you'll find a reason to resist, to avoid, to go back to being that observer, just looking at the gym through the window. And the other piece that I'm going to add here is the consistent commitment to this core practice now more than ever. Because the outer world is rocking. And it's just going to continue to rock. So if you're working off of other people's energy from the back seat, you're going to feel very unstable, insecure, unsure, doubtful, worried, versus taking that leadership position and being the miracle unicorn, where people are going to look at you and be like, wow, like, how is she doing it? Like, everything seems so crazy right now, but like, wow, like, she's totally like doing what she loves. She's selling her music. People are signing up for her coaching program, engaging and learning. That's amazing. That's the space. That's the commitment daily. You with me? So with all of that focus on the inner, we are ready to give focus to the outer. Here's how we're going to do that. We're going to look first at the key elements and components of a successful selling conversation and why those elements are key. Then we'll look at some of the surrounding elements, such as that pre-step, as well as aspects such as asking for money, and addressing resistance. I'm giving a clear reminder that everything that we give attention to regarding the outer is 100% connected to the inner. So you want to go into this from the perspective of you have been engaging in that daily core practice. So if, as we go into the outer, there's a flash of internal resistance that comes up that says, yeah, but I don't feel confident. Yeah, but gross. Yeah, but ew. A reminder, oh, I will be engaging in a daily core practice that's going to support me with flipping the switch.